Today we're making a cocktail. It's called the Emerald Old Fashioned. What does it have to do with a standard old fashioned? Stay tuned to hear our ramblings. Welcome to Common Man Cocktails. I'm Derek. That's Ian. Quiet time. Sleepy time. We're going to make a cocktail for you.
Let's make it smooth. Let's make the Emerald Old Fashioned.
It's called the Emerald Old Fashioned. It's got the word old fashioned in it, so it's going to be old fashioned. Dude, you look like you were so ready, and now you're like so lost. What happened?
I don't know.
Oh, because this is ice. So what I did ahead of time is this is a stir drink.
You're way ahead of me here.
Yes, it was a stir drink, and I wanted to chill the glass up for you so that you didn't have to work as hard when you had to stir it, which is because that's what you're supposed to do, because we're like pros. Yeah. Right. So let's start from the beginning. You're watching Common Man Cocktails. We're going to teach you how to make cocktails.
Today we're going to make the Emerald Old Fashioned cocktail.
Correct. And
this cocktail was submitted by Stephanie Foisey.
No. Yes. Whoa.
They
both have the same name.
Steve Foisey.
Wait, Steve? Is that Stephanie or Steven? I don't know. There's probably two different people. They just happen to line up.
Do some math here. I don't know. They could be related.
Executive producer Steve Foisey. You can check out patreon.com/CMC if you want to become an executive producer of the show by donating money to us on a, whenever you can basis. And the recipe is 2 ounces of Irish whiskey, 1 teaspoon of green chartreuse.
He's in the chat. He's like, there's no I in my name.
Yeah, it's right there. Crap. Wait. Yeah. 2 ounces of Irish whiskey, 1 teaspoon of green chartreuse. We're using yellow because I drank all the green. 1 teaspoon of absinthe. 1 teaspoon of honey syrup.
I'm going to apologize first, Steve, because it's really little font. My eyes are not as good as they used to be, apparently.
I can probably...
Like it's spelt out...
It
looks
really
like it's spelt out Stefan, but I implied the I. So,
yeah. Secondly, do you also go by Steve? Because did it just happen that he submitted this drink and I made him the executive producer on the same... Because I do one at the beginning of the week, and I did the other one like an hour ago. It just happened to land that way, guys.
That's a crazy quinky dink. We're going to get some ouzo effect here.
Ouzo, because you're using an absinthe. So, there's a lot of information I'm about to lay down on you. First off, stirring a cocktail. If you want to know a little bit more about stirring a cocktail, there's a video right here to help you out.
There's a technique behind it.
There is a technique. Actually, I just did it in part of my bar course series that I was doing. I did one on how to stir a cocktail that uses, or how to use a bar spoon, and it's part of that.
Nice.
And what else can I tell you? These are in stock again. We got like 24 of them, so there's plenty. And I lowered the price by $5, so like $14.98 if you want a mixing glass. And this uses absinthe. Absinthe in teaspoon levels is still pretty potent. It's gonna have that like a black licorice
flavor-wise.
Very potent. It doesn't say. Strain it in cold glass or fresh ice. I'm gonna guess that says over fresh ice.
Yeah, I'll do that.
So you're gonna get a cloudiness with absinthe because when water is added to it, it gets all crazy and in love with the water and starts to turn of a milky color and a little bit of a green tint to it.
It's called the ouzo effect.
Yes.
Because the same thing happens with the Greek liqueur.
That's true.
Ouzo. And
that's a white absinthe, so it's not gonna be complete milk color. It's just gonna has a very, that looks like what absinthe looked like when it oozos.
Yeah, it gives you like a little trend. It's semi-opaque. It looks a little bit translucent. It looks really cool. I mean, yeah. When you loosh some absinthe over some sugar and some ice water,
it smells like
it's a cool effect.
It smells like a Sazerac.
Sounds like it would be.
So here's the funny thing. You're bringing in, so we have like a $70-something or more bottle of single barrel Barniska Irish whiskey. You can use Jameson.
Yeah, because then you're adding absinthe, which is extremely potent.
So that's I bought this in Germany for about €68.
And you're adding chartreuse, which is an extremely potent flavor.
Yeah, actually it's probably like €30, but to buy it here would be $68. This is a $65 bottle, so you look at $65, $80, $65, and then this is going to be like $3, so that's expensive. But this is a very expensive version of something that doesn't have to be as expensive, but these two things are still pretty costly, no matter how you cut it. This doesn't change in price.
You can kind of cheap on this, but not on those, because those are brand.
You can go $25 on there, fine.
You can get Lucid or you can get Pernod. I don't know how much those go for, to be honest with you.
Probably still in the 50s, 40s. It's an expensive cocktail.
Oh, you haven't tried it yet?
No, I have. I'm exploring the flavors. It doesn't have any juices in it, so there's always that funniness.
It's got that I like an absinthe frap. When we made that, I
Yeah.
thought that was really good, and this kind of reminds me of that a little bit.
It has a little sweet black licorice flavor.
Yeah.
With definitely has that whiskey. It almost
definitely
has like
the
a
chartreuse.
smokiness.
There's like an herbalness.
Yeah, the chartreuse.
The herbal, obviously.
So, you haven't probably seen it at this point, but I have a course 2 coming out, which goes through sweets and which has honeys. It has acidities as a second release, the second video in the series. This is, I think, where the acidity comes into this drink, because there is no sours, there's no lemons, there's no limes. There is definitely a chartreuse acidity, like it has some sort of acid in there. I don't know which one it is. It's probably like a fortified wine from grapes or some crap. I don't know. It's not. It seems to be balanced. It's not super sweet. It's not super potent. But there's a little bit of black licorice in here. So if you can't take the flavor of absinthe, this drink is there. It's got it in there. It's like Prego.
You're welcome. Grazie.
It's in there.
It's in there. It's actually not that bad. I'm not a big fan of old fashions to begin with. This really has nothing like an old
It
fashioned.
has nothing in common with the old fashioned.
There's nothing.
A whiskey variant.
It's got some water,
There's
some
no
dilution.
muddled sugar and bitters.
Nope.
There's no orange peel or cherries, which you see in old fashions a lot of times.
No. There's a whiskey.
Yeah, I don't really. That's an Irish whiskey.
Yeah, it's almost
Hence the emerald,
This
I
is
guess.
closer to a Sazerac than it is a Sazerac with ice than it is anything else. But it's got a neat little herbal flavor to it.
Yeah, it's different.
This
It's
is a
not
drink
bad, it's just,
that's fun to experience, but I wouldn't order it.
I wouldn't think to equate it with an old fashioned either in flavor or ingredients.
No, the name is a little
Misleading.
misleading if you're a big old fashioned fan. You're like, oh, I want an emerald old fashioned. That's gonna be like old fashioned but butter.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be different. So not too bad. So, if you haven't subscribed and liked the video yet, then you should totally do that, because I forgot to say that in the beginning, which I wanted to do, but I got confused with all kinds of chaos. Secondly, you can use Jan18 and save 15% off at AwesomeDrinks.com for the rest of this month, and then some more. If the code doesn't work, like Ian said, just watch the latest video.
Yeah.
What else I want to say? Question of the day?
So, Stefan makes a good point. It's an old fashioned in that there's no juices.
There's no juices in a martini, right?
True.
So is this not just a martini?
Basically,
There's no vodka or gin.
Pre-prohibition style drink.
Yeah, it fits the pre-prohibition styles, the use of honey and that type of stuff. What is your, since we were talking about it before this episode, if you weren't watching the live stream, what is your position on marijuana legalization and recreational use? Because
Over 21.
for all sensibilities in there, age 21, whatever it is, carbon copied from Colorado. Where's Colorado? Utah?
West.
Oh.
No, it's not in
Colorado's-
Utah. Colorado's its
Colorado.
own state.
What am I thinking of? Not Colorado.
Denver?
Denver. I think I was thinking of Denver.
In Colorado?
Yeah. Okay. Colorado, Washington, California all have their kind of similar style guidelines. They got there the same way. What do you guys think? Have you been following the news? Because it seems to be everywhere lately. In New Hampshire, we just passed the legalization, but we can't grow it yet, but we're getting there. What do you guys think? There should be tons of questions for this, or tons of comments. I expect to see 50 or 60
Oh
of
yeah,
them.
Canada will legalize it this year too.
Canada, that's just like Colorado, about a same size. It's just as cold. There's nothing about Canada that's anything like
Canada's
Colorado.
pretty big.
They have snow.
Yeah, they have snow.
Both. See? I found a similarity.
Yeah.
Similarities are for the winter. Sidebar, there's videos over there. You're going to watch, the second one's a playlist. I'm going to be pimping out my Awesome Drinks courses that I've been doing to teach you guys how to use bar tools and how to make cocktails. So one of those will be over there. The other one's whatever YouTube suggests. Down below is a link to buy stuff from AwesomeDrinks.com because we're teaching how to drink.